Remember the early 2000s? Flip phones, low-rise jeans, and the golden age of diet paranoia. Back then, every grocery aisle was a battlefield. Low-fat, sugar-free, no MSG. It was like the food version of a moral war. Every label promised purity, and every bite felt like a potential sin. From MSG to carbs to artificial sweeteners, let's unpack how we all got scared of our snacks, and how most of it turned out to be, well, complete nonsense. Today, we're diving into the top 5 food component myths we all believed. Let's dive right into it, right here on History of Food. Before we dive into the list, let's set the scene. The early 2000s were a wild time for food, a decade when every grocery aisle felt like a minefield. One day, carbs were killing us. The next, it was fat. Then sugar. Then salt. Diet books were flying off shelves, and every TV doctor had a new food to fear. Labels screamed no MSG and fat-free like warnings from the apocalypse. It wasn't just eating anymore, it was survival. Let's start with MSG, monosodium glutamate, the flavor enhancer that supposedly turned every Chinese takeout box into a biological weapon. In the early 2000s, restaurants proudly slapped no MSG on their windows like it was a badge of honor. People were convinced MSG caused headaches, dizziness, and a mysterious illness called Chinese restaurant syndrome. The MSG panic started from a single 1969 letter claiming Chinese food caused weird reactions. No proof, just vibes. Later studies from the FDA and World Health Organization found it safe. MSG's just the salt form of glutamate, found in foods like tomatoes and cheese. Yet in the 2000s, people thought it was deadly. Turns out the only thing it harmed was common sense. Next up, carbs. Oh, carbs, the most unfairly demonized macronutrient in history. Thanks to the Atkins diet and later South Beach and keto, carbs in the 2000s became public enemy number 2. Suddenly, bread was the devil. Pasta was poison. Potatoes, forget it. You might as well be mainlining sugar. Remember those low-carb wraps and protein chips that tasted like disappointment? Everyone chased ketosis like it was enlightenment. But carbs aren't evil, only refined ones in excess. Whole grains, fruits, and veggies actually fuel your brain, which runs on glucose. Cutting carbs too much just tanks your mood and energy. In the 2000s, it was all or nothing, carb sinner or protein saint. Thankfully, we now know quinoa isn't the same as a donut. Top 3, aspartame. If you grew up in the 2000s, you probably remember your mom saying, "Don't drink too much Diet Coke. That aspartame causes cancer." Aspartame, the artificial sweetener found in Diet Coke, Equal, and thousands of sugar-free products, became one of the most controversial ingredients of the decade. The rumors were wild. Cancer, brain tumors, blindness, memory loss. Basically, every health disaster short of spontaneous combustion. Aspartame's been studied more than almost any other additive, and there's no solid evidence it causes cancer. The Food and Drug Administration, World Health Organization, and European Food Safety Authority all say it's safe in normal amounts. Sure, don't chug 2 liters of Diet Coke a day, but a can won't melt your brain. The irony? We ditched sugar out of fear, then panicked about the fake kind. Classic 2000s chaos. Coming in at top 2 is high fructose corn syrup, the syrupy monster lurking in every soda and snack of the early 2000s. Around that time, documentaries like Super Size Me and endless health blogs started calling HFCS the root of all obesity and disease. It was marketed as worse than sugar, unnatural, and toxic. Chemically, HFCS and table sugar are almost identical, both about half glucose and half fructose. The real issue wasn't the syrup itself, but how much we drank. In the 2000s, soda was liquid dessert, and teens practically had Mountain Dew in their veins. Blaming high fructose corn syrup just sounded smarter than admitting we were chugging 300 calories of sugar a day. Now, no HFCS labels fool us into thinking something's healthy even when it's still full of sugar. And finally, the myth that defined a generation: top 1 fat makes you fat. In the late 90s and early 2000s, low fat was basically a religion. Every supermarket shelf was stocked with fat-free yogurt, fat-free cookies, fat-free everything. If you saw fat-free, you thought guilt-free. But here's what no one told us. When food companies took out the fat, they added sugar, starch, and artificial flavoring to make up for the taste. And surprise, that didn't make anyone healthier. The idea that fat automatically leads to weight gain came from oversimplified nutrition advice in the 80s and 90s. In reality, healthy fats, like those in olive oil, nuts, avocados, and fish, are essential for hormones, brain function, and feeling full. Meanwhile, going fat-free often left people hungry and reaching for snacks 20 minutes later. Fast forward to now, and we've realized that not all fats are equal. Trans fats? Bad. Unsaturated fats? Great. But back then, everything with the word fat was treated like poison. We spent a decade avoiding egg yolks like they were ticking cholesterol bombs, only to find out they're actually good for you. So why did we believe all those food myths? Simple. Fear sells. In the 2000s, media headlines and diet books ran the show, turning every ingredient into a villain: carbs, fat, sugar, gluten, you name it. In the end, we trusted marketing and panic more than actual science. Today, food talk is more balanced, all about moderation and context. People know you can eat rice or drink a Diet Coke and still be fine, but food panic never dies, it just changes outfits. One year it's seed oils, the next it's gluten. Nutrition isn't black and white, more like 50 shades of gray. Some tasty, some questionable, none truly evil. So if you survived the 2000s believing MSG would kill you, carbs would ruin you, and fat would make you explode, congratulations. You lived through one of the most paranoid decades in food history. The takeaway? Don't let headlines tell you what to eat. The scariest thing about food isn't the ingredients. It's how easily we let fear season our choices. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.